Welcome to this Digicast, editing photos in iOS. Today we're going to look at editing. Specifically, we're going to look at all the tools that are available to you in edit mode, which include crop and straighten, auto enhance, filters, color correction with some granular controls, and even send to third-party apps for editing. Inside my Photos app, I have an album of images that I need to edit. Firstly, let's view this image in full screen. And now at the top corner, I see the edit button. I tap on the edit button, and now I see all my edit controls. The first button is the wand, and this is the enhance button. If I tap that button, it applies a general automated enhancement to my image. At times, you may not notice much difference, but I feel that this has improved the image, and so I'd like to save it. To do this, press done. One of the great features about the Photos app is that all the photo editing is completely non-destructive. What this means is that I can go back at any time in the future and revert this image back to its original. The reason why this is possible is because all the adjustments are stored in a separate metadata file attached to the image. So the actual image itself is never altered. One of the images that I took has turned out a little bit skew. In the edit mode, I'll now go to the crop option. And Photos will automatically try and straighten the image for me. If it's done a good job, I can simply accept it, or I can use this little dial to straighten it further myself. If there's something that I'd like to crop, for example, let's get rid of these trees in the bottom, I can drag up from the bottom and resize the image accordingly. It's also possible, at the top, next to the Done button, to use this option to rotate the image through 90 degrees each time. Also, if you're looking for a specific aspect ratio, you can access those from this button here at the bottom, allowing you to choose between various aspect ratios for whatever suits your purpose. So we could go to a square image if we're going to upload this to Instagram, or we can go to 16:9, or I can simply revert it back to its original. Now through all the editing, I've ended up making some changes that I hadn't quite intended. At any time, I can press the cancel button and discard all the changes. Using this panorama, let's have a look at some of the other editing options. Firstly, we have our filters. So it's easy for me to apply some blanket changes to the whole image using the given filters. Let's look at some of the advanced editing controls. I tap on the dial button to see the various parameters that I can change. Let's start with light. Using light, I get the overall setting for light, which I can drag up or down, either on the little strip or on the image itself, to adjust the lighting. You'll notice as I move, there's a little grey dot that shows me the original setting, and it's possible to snap back to that at any point to go back to the original setting. If the main light parameter is not giving you enough control and you'd like to get a bit more granular, tap on the three lines at the bottom. We now see each one of the parameters that the light setting is changing, and we can tap on any one to begin editing that. So for exposure, I can now drag up or down, either on the image itself or on the strip, to adjust the exposure. Instead of tapping on the three lines to go back to the menu of parameters, I'm going to swipe towards the right to access the next parameter. Likewise, it's possible for me to do the same in color, where I get either an overall parameter or the various options that I can adjust individually. And likewise with black and white, it's also possible to get down into the granular settings, allowing you to have a lot of control over how your images are edited. I'm going to say done. The image is now saved, but I'd like to show you the non-destructive editing that I spoke of earlier. I'm now going to tap edit, and the done button in edit mode has now changed to revert. If I tap this button, I get a warning dialog box that tells me any of the changes that I've made are now going to be lost forever if I choose to revert to original. I'm going to do this. Now the photo is back in its original state, and if I'd like to have the changes reapplied, I'll have to go and re-edit it. Lastly, inside my edit mode, there is also a button with an ellipsis. This button allows me to see all the other apps that I have installed on my iPad that are capable of editing images. I'm going to send this image to Pixelmator and make some changes here. Let's use the kaleidoscope. We'll add some more points and make some adjustments to create a very interesting looking image. I'm now going to say done. Pixelmator has saved my panorama, and I'm going to say done in Photos. However, my stunning panorama of the pond has now changed to this kaleidoscope. Again, I can go back to my edit mode at any time and still revert to original, even though this was edited in a third-party app. So that's the episode on editing photos. We've had a look at all the features inside the Photos app. We've enhanced our picture. We've had a look at cropping and straightening and the wonderful auto straighten feature. We've also had a look at the filters, as well as doing our granular color correcting and even sending to a third-party app to edit, as well as taking advantage of non-destructive editing by being able to undo edits made in the Photos app and even those made in third-party applications. We hope you enjoyed this Digicast, and we look forward to sharing our next episode with you, which will be sharing photos from iOS to your nearest and dearest. I'm Paul, goodbye for now.